In terms of facts, the Quran contains both spiritual and practical teachings,
but its nature is fundamentally religious,
the Quran reflects knowledge that was not known at the time of its revelation,
leading to the belief among Muslims that it contains divine truths that go beyond the understanding of its time. Let's discuss some of those shocking facts that Allah mentioned through Quran 1,400 years ago. The origin of the universe.
In Surah 21 verse 30, it is mentioned that,
"Do not those who disbelieve see that the heavens and the earth were a closed-up mass? Then we opened them out."
will they not then believe? This verse is often interpreted as describing the creation of the universe, where the heavens, the sky, or the universe and the earth were initially a unified mass, and then Allah separated them. Some scholars draw parallels between this description and the scientific understanding of the Big Bang Theory, where the universe began as a singularity and later expanded.
The idea of the Big Bang introduced in the recent past, but Quran mentioned it 1,400 years ago.
The protection of the sky. In Surah Anbiya, Allah talk about the protection of the sky. In Surah 21 verse 32, it is mentioned that, "And we made the sky a canopy, protected, yet they turn away from its signs."
This verse refers to the sky being a canopy or a protective cover. The term protected is often interpreted as describing the atmosphere, which acts as a shield
for life on Earth by filtering harmful radiation from the sun and preventing meteors from hitting the surface.
The verse could be understood as a reference to the Earth's atmosphere, which protects and sustains life, making it a unique feature of our planet. Imagine Quran has mentioned it 1,400 years ago, while science get to know this information on 19th century.
The iron. In Surah 57, verse 25, it is mentioned that,
"And we sent down iron, in which is strong material, enabling man to achieve his ends, and in which is much benefit for mankind." Here Allah used the words "sent down,"
which illustrate that iron is not earthly materials, rather it's sent down by the Almighty Allah.
The understanding that iron is not purely an earthly material,
but rather has cosmic origins, developed over the 20th century.
As scientific understanding of stellar processes and the solar system's formation deepened.
But Quran mentioned that iron is not an earthly materials 1,400 years ago.
The human embryo.
The development of the human embryo is mentioned in several verses in the Quran. In Surah 23, verse 13 to 14, it mentioned that,
"Then we made the sperm into a clot of congealed blood,
and we made the clot into a lump of flesh, and we made out of that lump bones, and clothed the bones with flesh.
Then we caused it to grow into another creation. So blessed is Allah, the best of creators." These verses describe the stages of human embryonic development. The Quran mentions several stages. The initial sperm, which is combined with the egg, the development of a clot, often understood as the zygote, or the early stages of a fertilized egg,
and the formation of bones and flesh as the embryo grows and develops into a human being. Darkness in the sea. The Quran mentions the darkness in the depths of the ocean in Surah Nur.
In verse 40, it is mentioned that,
"Or it is like the darkness within a vast sea, which is covered by waves, above which are waves, above which are clouds, layers of darkness, one above another. When one puts his hand out, he can hardly see it." This verse is a powerful description of the profound darkness found in the deep ocean.
It highlights the difficulty of seeing or finding one's way in the ocean's depths,
where multiple layers of darkness waves above waves and clouds.
Above those create an environment where light struggles to penetrate.
The discovery of the deep sea darkness began to develop in the 19th century and progressed in the 20th century.
Before that, people had little understanding of the depth and characteristics of the oceans.
Sea barriers. The Quran refers to the phenomenon of fresh and salt water meeting, but not mixing in a few verses. In Surah 25 verse 53, it is mentioned that, "And it is he who has set free the two seas. This is fresh and sweet, and that is salty and bitter. And he placed between them a barrier and a partition that is forbidden to be passed." This is interpreted as referring to the phenomenon where fresh water from rivers and salty seawater meet, but they don't immediately mix due to differences in temperature, salinity, and density.
This can be observed in places like estuaries, where the waters are distinct, with a barrier of sorts preventing immediate mixing. Those are some shocking facts that mentioned it Quran 1,400 years back.
Those are amazing facts, as those discovery science had been made in 19th and 20th century.